Alright, so we're going to replace the thermostat O-ring, which looking at it I think is probably going to be wrong, because we had a little bit of a hissy fit, so I pulled the thermostat out the other week, and then I've got to pull that pump out and a little fitting kit because I've obviously sold it, and then we're going to change the camber on the knuckles there. I don't know if you can see it. Camber on the knuckles back to the original spec that MCA gave me, then try and get some more caster in the front of the car to make it drive a bit better than it does. It's a bit fucking shit at the moment, to be honest. And then yeah, I've also got a fitting for a mechanical oil pressure gauge as well, which I'm going to throw onto the back of the oil sensor. It's a bit of a mess, but you know. A couple more ignition relays for the car because for whatever reason it likes to blow them. Got to give it a bit of a wash. You can chuck some different tyres on the back of it. I've had these things for years and they're actually not that great of a tyre, to be honest. So yeah, yes, there's the BMW. Not a lot happening with that at the moment, just pretty much waiting for some money and work out what I got to do with it. But yeah, I'll try and film as much as I can by myself on a phone, which is absolute mess in here. Once it's gone, I might pull it out and give it a bit of a clean. And then I've also got had a problem with one of these. I think it's this one. Keeps touching on the header there and arcs out, and eventually will cause a backfire. So I'm going to try and work that out. It might be a case of putting some of this heat shielding that I like to throw and everything on the leads as well. I've seen that done in Formula D on Alex Hilbram's car, so it might be a bit of an idea. But yeah, we'll keep you posted on how we crack on. Alright, so I'll pull the hose off. I did pull this housing off last week just to pull the thermostat out. I wanted to try and see if it was it's very hard with my hand. Yeah. Pulled the thermostat out to see if it was jammed shut or something like that, because yeah, last time I took it out a few months ago, it been not overheating per se, but it has been getting hotter than it normally used to get hot. And it could be because these fans apparently are crap on this eBay radiator as well. So I might change these two fans to one big one like I had originally on it, which did seem to keep it cool. Mind you, it's making a bit more power now, but just pull that off. This did have a gasket on it, like a paper sticky gasket, and then obviously go down to Super Cheap because they know what they're talking about. That's the thing. Yeah, they know what they're talking about, so apparently it's this thing. So we'll change it over and see how we go. As we can see, got a little bit of build up on the thermostat there, or the housing. Not actually sure what it's from. Obviously it's coolant, but not sure what's the cause. This new O-ring for it was apparently they don't use a paper one. I did have a paper one on my car, which obviously had me looking for one for a while, and then yeah, reference all the part numbers and came back as this. So pull that off. Flatter than Paris Hilton's chest, but still good. And then just yeah, just trying to clean much of that gunk, all the gunky stuff out. Just give it a bit of a bit of seal there. Getting there. Just keep. Oh, come on. It's looking pretty clean. Let's get an O-ring. Just a brand new O-ring from quality old Super Cheap Auto. Okay. A little big. Right. Alright, so I'm just taking a bit of a break from the thermostat because I think I might have got the wrong part. But what we're going to do is change the front coilovers back to these offset washers, which you get from MCA, on a McPherson strut anyway. So they're basically, you can see the holes offset. Pretty sure these are the ones that came with the car. And then it was a little bit too much camber, so I got non-offset ones, which are in the car now. So I'm just going to change it back to the offset to bring the camber back, dial the top negative camber back in. And then yeah, we're going to try and figure out how to get some caster out of it, just to try and make it self-steer a bit better. It doesn't seem to handle like or drive like a drift car, or drive like I'd like it to drive, which is a bit of a pain. This whole car's a bit of a pain, to be honest, but you know, it is what it is. Brand new semi-slicks, pretty much, like 1-2 track days on them. So pull this apart and we'll see. There we go. Alright, so we've got the two 21 or 22 mil nuts off. So as you can see, there's little Allen keys, Allen bolts that hold them in. Oh, the bolts are stuck in there. Yeah. I'll try and pull these out. Oh no, there we go. Wiggle it out. So, yep, bolt. So yeah, there's these little Allen key bolts in there that hold the washers in. So basically what we do is obviously undo the Allen key, pull the washer off. You can see the numbers different. It's 14.2 I think on that one, and then these ones are 14.1, so they're offset. So we'll need to work out which way the hole, to maneuver the hole there. I'm pretty sure it will be in that way. And then yeah, you can even do some tricky stuff like the offset the hole inwards on the top and then outwards on the bottom to give it more negative camber there. And yeah, I'll get the Allen key and I'll pull these off and I'll show you the hole difference. Alright, so we'll just pull this out, which is the I think it's the 14. Yeah, it's the 14.2. Undo the bolt, which is only a little tiny bolt, a very tiny bolt. That's 14.2. It's still offset, as you can see. The 14.1, which I'm replacing, the hole's a little bit different. So put it in. Which way do we put it in? That way? I think it's that way. It goes in that way. Put it in, and so we'll match the other top one with the corresponding 14.1 bolt, and then it should dial the negative camber back in. I'll just double check. I'm pretty sure I actually changed the bottom ones as well, which will be the case, which will push the bottom hub out. Saying that, I can take these and unbolt them, flip them around, put it back in, which will give it more negative camber on the hub. And then we're going to try and sort some caster out down here with this pretty average setup that was made. And I also want to check the top of the strut up there. I think the strut shaft itself up the very top through the pillow ball area might actually be bent. So I'll pull that out and have a look. But yeah, the MCAs are going pretty good. Yeah, I've just put the wheel back on after changing those two top bolts there. You can already see the front camber is already quite significant to the other side. Other side's still got a bit of camber on it. Obviously it's sort of nowhere near what this side was, so I'll I'm still trying to get that strut top out, just because, just to check that shaft. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a prick. Faithful assistant's not really assisting. What? We'll just carry. See the angle that the kit gets. I'll just put the adjustable washers back in, just putting the nuts on it now. Yeah, this kit was the first sort of mass-produced big angle Commodore kit made for this shape in Australia, and it's like the original kit, and the guy that made them, I think he went out of business after a while because he kept ripping people off. But yeah, he kept having the kits break, like the tie rod pickups would snap or the arms would snap. This arm here is actually a second arm, because I had a little bit of an off at Queensland Raceway one day, taking my brother for a ride, and found the only drainage stitch out in the track and smashed all the lower control arm, which is why it's black and the rest of it's all that reddy orange colour. I'll just finish doing these up and then we'll crack on the other side and we'll see how the camber's going on the front there. Peg! Faithful assistant, not really assisting much, are you? Hey, come here! So, alright, we've done the camber. Just going to have a little play around with the caster now. When I got this kit designed, I did actually want adjustable camber that we can do, say down here or up here. Obviously it's not what I got. Yeah, it is what it is. So I'm going to take these off, pull that out, and there's a nut similar to this one on the other side there. I'm going to pull that nut off and try and, I don't know, guesstimate some caster to try and bring it forward a bit more, like bring the actual hub forward a bit more. Just try to get some more better self-steer in the car. Yeah, it doesn't really like to self-steer with the setup in it, and I've sort of always just, I guess, driven around it when it does drive. So yeah, we're gonna try and make it drive maybe a bit better than it does, just so I'm maybe a little bit happier with the car. So yeah, we'll just pull this out, pull that nut out, and see how we go. It might not work, might even be a case of just spacing this plate itself out. Somehow, oh, looks like it's loose. Nope. Yeah, it might just be a case of perhaps spacing this plate out a bit more, which would be theoretically you could do. Just add another one of these and bring it out a set amount. Doing it this way is going to, taking the nut out just here, is it's going to be basically a guessing game as to how much caster we dial into it. But yeah, as you can see, got no front sway bar either. Hasn't had one since day one. Just a setup quirk, I guess, that I sort of learnt online, and seems to work. The BMW is probably not going to have one either. I do want to put like an adjustable, like a supercar style rear sway bar in the back of that you can just click a lever to soften it. We'll see how we go, but yeah, we'll just crack on with this and see what I do. See how we come up. Right, last nut is off. Okay, so we're going to take this plate off, take the nut off the back, and then hopefully we'll be able to guesstimate some additional caster. The other way could do it, as I said, is put some washers on these studs behind this plate, but then I don't really want to do that because it's going to put the majority of the weight, especially the braking and the acceleration, on these 4 studs. Might break them, might not, might get away with it. Actually feels like if they did break, could bash them out, put some bolts through them. We might look at doing that, maybe that might be easier, but I'll have a look at this nut thing at the back, see if I can pull that out, work out how much to add how much, to wind this in, wind the home joint into that to add caster to it. So we'll work that out and we'll go from there. What I'm doing is I'm just taking a measurement from this hub to the guard. I'm going to throw some washers in behind that plate to sort of add some caster, and then I'll remeasure it to see what it is. So it's coming up at like 14.4, 14.5 maybe. So what I'll do is I've got some washers here. They're only spring washers, so they're not sort of ideal. I'll just 4 of those. I'll scoot round. I did ask a couple of the guys on one of the pages if they've done this. Someone that I talked to a bit has claimed that it works, and I quote, "It's ghetto as fuck, but it worked." So we'll just throw these on. Not that one. That one went AWOL. So, throw them on. Let's do the other side. Get in there. Turn the top on. Yep, put the top one in. And the last one, just pull that forward a bit more. That's on. Just throw the nuts back on, tighten her up, and we'll remeasure from this bore to that guard again. Hopefully it's a little bit improvement. I'm not 100% sure what the millimetre to degree would be of the caster, but we'll find out. Crank this up. Bit ghetto, but if it works, it works. If it doesn't, and it breaks the studs, we'll just punch them out and use a nut and bolt like a normal person. Part of the reason why I'm actually building the BMW behind me is having to get a lot of the stuff custom made for this car. It's not fun. That's why, yeah, that arm's different, because I broke the arm at a practice night for a competition, and naturally couldn't get the arm because it's all custom made, and as you do, no one's got it on the shelf, which is a bit of a pain, but just I'll take the measure back out. Rotate that flat. So it has given quite a substantial amount, a couple of mil. So maybe, like I said, it's ghetto, but it works. So what I might do is I might jump around the other side, take the same measurement from here to here again, throw 4 more of these washers in behind here, and then yeah, might hopefully it gives it a bit more self steer, because yeah, as I said, it didn't have a lot. We'll just try and rotate the wheel back on the ground with the wheel back on. Front camber is quite obviously significant compared to this side, so I'm gonna stop filming for a bit, do this side, because it's basically going to be the exact same thing as I did on the other side, just on the left. As you can see, it's got a bit of the poke, which is what I like look wise, and there is the side back on the substantial negative camber, not as much poke, which is a bit goo. But I have had another one of my mates tell me that he used to do the old 4-bolt washer behind the camber plate to get some extra caster on the front of a standard car. So I'll do that. I've got the washers in there at the moment, but I'm going to change it to another one of these plates. I'm going to get and bash the bush out of it and just run it behind that plate, because I'm not really a fan of just washers. But yeah, as you can see, quite substantial negative camber again. When I first got the MCAs in this car, quite a few people told me it would 3-wheel, a bit like the RTR Mustangs in the States. So I'm hoping I can actually get a bit more of the freewheel action going again, even though it's sort of shit for performance. But yeah, it looks cool. You get all the E-frame, and yeah, so I'll crack on with this side and get it all done. I won't film it because it's obviously the same thing you've already seen over there, so we'll just crack on and get it done. Alright, so that's both sides set back to the original cam bar. Added some caster in, obviously, as you saw. So yeah, now I've just got to put that the new oil gauge in it, just because the electric one I've got's, I think it's the sensor's faulty and it starts reading no oil pressure. So motor sounds healthy still, so we're gonna throw that in with that this fitting I got up here, and throw that in, give it a wash, put some new tyres on it, and I'm gonna go to QR hopefully on the August 9th, hopefully, and yeah, see how it goes with the new caster they put in it. So yeah, it's been a while. Car really does my patience, just being the fact that it likes to, you spend all this money getting it ready and it breaks, and that's why I got this thing, to try and alleviate all the breakages, or try and make it as more reliable than the Commodore. The Commodore's quite good, even though I've had issues with it all the time. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got some hot boy amber hanging out there, so hopefully it gets back to three-wheeling like it used to now that it's back to that setup. So yeah, that'll be it for this video, and I'll obviously film when I do the oil gauge next week, hopefully, and yeah, stay posted.